Hey guys, welcome back to another video in this channel. Today I have a special announcement. We're going to continue with the Retopology. I'm going to be showing you a very cool little trick that I'm going to use inside of ZRemesh to help me with the Retopology process of the infected character, and if it can help me, I'm pretty sure it can help you as well. But I'm not going to be able to upload anything tomorrow, Saturday, nor Sunday, okay? So I will be back on Monday, and Monday is going to be a special day. I don't want to spoil anything just yet. I want to make sure that you guys wait until then to see what's coming. But yeah, I'm going to be gone for the next couple of days, so just make sure to review some of the videos if you want to polish some of your skills. And also, if you don't have anything to watch here on YouTube, I can invite you to check something out in Skillshare. Hey guys, Abraham here. I just wanted to remind you guys that we upload all of our courses to Skillshare. Skillshare is this amazing site where you can access a ton of different content to learn, improve, and grow as an artist. We have all of our courses available to watch and learn from right now in Skillshare. You can check the description down here, and Skillshare is offering 1 free month trial to their premium membership. With this membership, you're going to be able to access all of our courses and watch and learn all of the amazing things that we cover with all of the softwares. So, what are you waiting for? Check Skillshare down here below. There we go. So, as I've mentioned, today we're going to be working on Retopology. And you guys saw how complex Retopology can get, right? Like on the last, I think it was on the live stream, we were doing the Retopology for like the food, the little back here, a little bit of the legs. We did the tabard thing. So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So, first of all, I'm going to save this as Retopology because we're going to modify this guy quite a bit. And I want to have a copy with everything exactly the same. Now, we don't really need to do anything with the tabard, so I'm going to go here. I'm actually going to delete the subtools. So I'm just going to delete all of these guys. There we go. And these pieces that we're seeing right here, these are the ones that we actually need to retopologize, right? Now, we need to make a choice here. We need to make a decision. Do we want everything to be a single piece? And the answer is, of course, yes. But do we want all of the pieces to be in a single mesh? Maybe we don't need, for instance, the pants to be together with the body, right? Like, we have a really, really cool body right here. This guy is looking, like, quite nice. Oh, there we go. So, technically, we could retopologize this body with, like, the spheres and the nails and stuff. Like there are things that we can retopologize with, and we don't actually need everything. That's also gonna make it a little bit easier for what's the word, for rigging, and it really won't break that much on the geometry side of things. So what I'm gonna do here is I am gonna go to each geometry, and we're gonna try and ZRemesh each geometry as a separate piece. So we're gonna start with this guy right here with the body. And if I were to go here and just hit geometry, ZRemesher, we should be able to get something like looking quite nice. I'm also going to show you another trick in just a second. But yeah, like this is workable. It's not perfect, but it's actually like workable. We actually have some loops here on the fingers. We have loops on the arms. It's a little bit dense, so I'm going to see if we can bring this like half down. That's a little bit better. Still a little bit high. Let's see if we can do one more half. There we go. That's way better. Now, the problem with this is that we actually lost quite a bit of detail, like a lot of form and stuff. We lost it when we were doing this sort of like a retopology. So I'm going to show you, again, one trick that we're going to be using. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to clone this. Actually, I'm thinking about this. I do want to have all of this guys be a same mesh, though. I originally was going to say that we don't want that, but I do want this, except for the short. So I'm going to turn off the short, turn off the belt, turn off the little belt thingies. We already did the back, so I'm going to turn it off, and same for the... Is this the one? Yeah, same for that one. Cool. So this is what we want, and I'm actually going to turn off the spikes as well, because I know that the spikes are going to make it a little bit difficult for the retopology that I want to do. So this is with the actual geometry that I want to retopologize using the method that I'm about to show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone, or say merge visible, and it's going to create a new tool here with all of these points like together. And as you can see, this is organic enough, so technically the ZRemesher should work just fine. But the problem is right now we have so many different layers and so many different elements, and it won't work as simply as this. So I'm going to say polygroups, auto groups first to get like a just general polygroups everywhere. And I'm going to duplicate this guy. So I'm going to say duplicate. And on the top one, I'm going to say Dynamesh. I'm going to combine everything into a single mesh. And as you can see, this is what we get. And this Dynamesh thing, as you can see, looks really, really close to the one that we have, with the advantage of being a single mesh. So there's no overlap. Everything is just like welded together, if you wish. This is the one that we're going to see remesh. So just grabbing this guy right here, I'm going to go into geometry, and I'm going to see remesh. That's it. Now, the disadvantage of using this method is that, yes, we might not get the perfect like animation ready topology for like the hands, but it's a lot easier to have everything else done. And then if we just need to rebuild the hands inside of Maya, we just do the hands, right? Like, we save ourselves so much work by doing this process. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This is great. Actually, like, the density is perfect. It's a little bit high. We're at 12,000. Let me see if I can lower this a little bit. So I'm going to say half and try one more series measure. And there we go. That's no, still 12,000. So it really didn't change that much. And it like modified the topology like quite a bit. Now we do have some of those like negative areas right there, and those could get tricky later on. I mean, they're not the end of the world, but they could get tricky. But this is a workable geometry. Even the hands, they look like good. They're decent. And we can later on stitch together what we already did inside of Maya right here with the character. Now, the one thing that I'm going to do is the following. If you take a look at this guy is at 3.6 million points, and this is only at 12,000. So I'm going to control D a couple of times. Let's do like 4 times. There we go. So now really close. And we're going to project all. Now, what this will do is we will make sure to capture the silhouette, which is really, really important for low polish, right? We mentioned this when we were doing the tabard. By capturing the silhouette, we can make sure that all of the details that we will eventually project with normal map are going to be caught with the mesh, right? So if you ask me, again, this is workable. It's something that we can use. Sometimes when you're in a project and you're under time constraints, you have to work with what you have, and even though it's not the most optimized, it will work just fine. If we want to be like really, really precise, we will need to like actually go there and do a manual retopology of every single piece. Yes, the retopology will be like super crisp, super nice, but it will also be really, really time consuming. Like, it will probably take me about 6 or 7 hours of just like tweaking every single detail, because it's a very, very complex character. So I don't want to bore you guys with all of that process. That's why we're doing this like, I would say cheap and dirty way to do it. But again, in the 3D world, we sometimes think that shortcuts or cheats like this are bad. It's all dependable on the project. Again, sometimes you don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have the resources, and you do whatever you gotta do to get the project out and to make sure people enjoy it. And on the Odyssey, I'm wearing the shirt from the what's the word, from the experience that we released in the museum. We did a lot of that. Like, there's a lot of dirty stuff under the scenes, but people never see them. They just have the experience. It's a 7 to 8 minute experience, and that's it. They go out of the experience happy that they saw it, and there we go. So there you go. So as you can see now, things have changed. We do have a nice change in topology. There are a couple of things like not working perfectly. Don't worry, because if we go all the way down to the lowest subdivision level, which is this one, like, we won't notice that. Like, everything else looks nice, and as you can see, we are capturing some of like that elements and stuff from the character. Now, this is a character that's gonna deform a little bit weirdly. For instance, if I were to move the arm, like the left arm, I would see some of the spheres moving. And again, in games, that's something that you can't really change. It's a little bit difficult to control. Same for this one. So unless we are fine, or like if we're not fine with like spheres moving in a wonky way, what's gonna happen is he's only gonna have like a short movement here on the hands. Like, he won't be able to move the shoulders up and down, and he's just gonna move them like very, very lightly. Those are all questions that you need to ask your what's your word, your art director, to make sure that you're doing things properly. But yeah, this works perfectly fine. Now, the UVs are definitely going to be a little bit of a problem, especially because I'm seeing a lot of like concave and convex shapes. So that's going to be tricky. We're probably going to leave that one for another video, because UVs are going to be, again, quite tricky. But I think this is working. Like, we can definitely work with this. Actually, what if I show you how to do UVs here? Yeah, let's do UVs here. I'm going to show you a plugin here called UV Master that's at least going to give us a little bit of a help with the UVs. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I am going to mask lasso. I'm going to mask out the arms, because I know that those are like the easy ones to UV. And I'm also going to mask out like the abdomen right here. I'm going to hit Control W. That's going to give me a new polygroup. And now I'm going to go to C plugins. And there's a UV Master plugin that we can use. I'm going to turn off symmetry. And I'm going to use polygroups. And I'm going to say unwrap. So what this will do is it will try to cut this thing in the best possible way. And yeah, it's kind of like doing an unfold and a layout at the same time here inside of ZRemesh. The UVs that we get are not perfect. I'm going to be honest with you there. Like, they're not going to be perfect. But at least, like, all of this crazy area up here, we should be able to get something, like, working nicely. Let's just wait for this to finish. I'm going to pause the video real quick. There we go. So it says 5 islands were generated. To see the islands, we can go to UV map and morph the UV. And there you go. As you can see, we have like the hands, 2 hands, the legs, and then this part right here. Again, not perfect, but it works. Like, at least like this big mass, big chunk of mass, it's working. Now I'm going to export this. I'm going to export this as infected body underscore low. And we actually have the high one right here as well. This other one, which is the 3.7 million polygons. I'm going to clone it again. Just have it somewhere else, like here. And we're going to decimate this, of course. So C plugin. And we're going to say decimation master. And let's just go to the 250K preset. I'm going to pause real quick. And there we go. So I'm going to export this as a body. I'm not sure why it's going somewhere else. That's infected body, and this is going to be infected body high. And we can already do a quick test. Like, this is not going to be the final textures, but we can do a quick test to make sure this is working properly. But first, I just need to check something on the UVs. So I'm going to open Maya real quick. I really like this new, like, Maya 23 thing. Looks clean. I don't like the icon. It looks ridiculous. Because it says M and then Aya. I prefer the old ones. But it's fine. Okay, let me open this. There we go. And we can already start opening Substance 3D Painter. Cool, so if we grab the infected body low, this is what we have. Yeah, this is what I was scared of. As you can see, we got a lot of different like polygroups. Very easy way to fix this. Just combine everything and say mesh or edit mesh merge. And make sure that the threshold is set to 0.001. And there we go. So now we take a look at the UV editor. The UV is there. Again, not the prettiest UV, but it will work. We have a couple of islands here and there that I don't love, but not much we can do right now. I'm going to say mesh display, soften edge. And let's delete the history, because this is what we're eventually going to be seeing. And let's just re-export this. I'm going to export the selection again. Back into our subtool element. We're going to export this in OBJ. Infected body low. There we go. And now let's go to Substance and see how this looks. File, new. Let's do this at 4K so we get all the detail. Infected body low. Hit OK. There we go. So the model looks good. And now let's take a look at the bakes. So also going to be 4K bakes. Infected body high. There we go. And I am going to turn on a 2x2 subsampling just to see how this looks. And let's take a look. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. As you can see, even though we have like a couple of seams here and there that look a little bit weird, once we bake everything down, we don't see it. And the character is going to look like perfectly fine. Yeah, look at that beautiful ambient occlusion. Nice. I love it. Looks great. Looks quite nice. Now we're just missing the tabard. We're missing the little back over here. Like we're gonna replace some of this stuff later on. But as you can see, this is perfectly workable. This is something that we can definitely use to texture our character. Yes, it's a little bit dirty. It's not like super production clean. But given the fact that we're only been working on this for like a total of about 6 hours, I think it's really nice. A character like this would definitely take like a full week of work, so like 40 hours. But yeah, look at that. Really clean, really nice bake overall. And we can throw in like the the basic material that I had, remember? The one that I showed you on the live stream? This is my stylized paint like base layer. There we go. So yeah, the shadows, everything looks pretty nice. We don't really see the what's the word, the places where the UV breaks. So everything looks pretty nice. I'm gonna change this color to like a green color. Like sort of like, well, it's like a green blue color, yeah, like something like this. Let's turn those off. And then I have this. They're just like basic colors. I'm pretty sure you guys want me to do a texturing thing, and we will do a texturing thing. But yeah, look at this. Like, not bad for the bake, right? Like, not freaking bad. This looks really, really nice. The nails, everything looks quite nice. There's a little bit of a seam right there. Might be able to hide it later on with a little bit of paint. But yeah, even if we were to add like one of the most common layers that we add is like a dirt layer. So let me add like a black mask here. Generator. Let's do a dirt generator. And look at that. Like, going exactly where we need it. We can do an overlay there. Lower the opacity. And that's giving us a very, very nice, cool result. So yeah, that's the technique, guys. I'm gonna do the same technique for the shorts. So I'm gonna go into ZRemesh and combine the shorts in a single subtool, Dynamesh, all that stuff. And once I have all of the things ready, I'll be able to continue with this character, okay? So I'm gonna stop the video right here, guys. As I mentioned, we're not gonna have a video tomorrow or on Sunday, but I'll be back on Monday with a very, very cool news. So make sure to stay tuned, make sure to hit the like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you back on the next one. Bye-bye.